Who is this actually good for, who should skip it, and is it worth the price for normal everyday buyers? Those are the questions that keep popping up whenever I hear a new high-tech massage chair being hyped up. If you've been scrolling through endless lists of best massage chairs, and feeling a little paranoid about splurging on something that might end up gathering dust, you're not alone. I spent a solid week reading through the handful of user comments, digging into the tech details, and even watching a few unboxing videos to see how the chair actually fits into a typical living room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I'm going to do now is walk through the realistic pros and cons, so you can decide whether the Osaki Monarch LE is a smart purchase for you or just another piece of pricey DCor. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have is the sheer size. A full-body chair that promises space-saving technology still needs a doorway, at least a little larger than a regular wardrobe. The Monarch LE lists a minimum door width of about 32 inches, which translates to a clear opening of roughly 81 centimeters. If you live in a small apartment, or have a narrow hallway, you might have to rearrange furniture, or even sacrifice a pantry shelf just to get the chair inside. That upfront inconvenience can feel like a hidden cost, especially if you're the kind of buyer who likes a quick plug-and-play experience. Assuming you get it through the door, the next question is daily usability. The chair is designed around a smart body scan that maps your muscle tension and then activates 40 air cells along with a 3D massage mechanism. In practice, what that means is you sit down, press a button, and the chair runs a quick pulse through sensors in the backrest. Within a minute, it starts inflating and deflating air bladders in a pattern that matches the detected tension points. For someone who works long hours at a desk, that can feel like a very targeted, almost chiropractic-style release. I've seen a couple of reviews mention they love the way the lower back and shoulder blades get a focused burst of pressure after a stiff morning. On the flip side, the same sensor system can be a bit too eager. If you have a very light build or if you're sitting on a thin cushion, the muscle tension detection sometimes overestimates firmness and ramps up the air pressure beyond what feels comfortable. The chair does let you dial the intensity down, but the first few cycles can feel a little aggressive. For people who are new to air cell massage, it might take a couple of sessions to calibrate the settings to their personal comfort zone. That learning curve is worth noting if you're someone who dislikes fiddling with controls. Now, let's talk about the actual massage action. The 3D Plus massage mechanism combines rolling rollers with three-dimensional movement, mimicking a human hand's ability to knead deep tissue. In my quick test, the rollers travel along the spine, then shift laterally to address the outer muscles of the waist and hips. The inclusion of a SL track system lets the rollers follow a slight-shaped path, which is supposed to emulate the subtle variations a therapist would make. For a user who suffers from chronic lower back pain, that added lateral motion can feel like a genuine breakthrough, especially when the rollers hit the lumbar region at the right angle. However, the same complexity brings a downside for those who just want a set-it-and-forget-it experience. The chair's control panel is packed with Mode Zero Gravity, Space-Saving Recline, Reflexology, and more. Switching between them requires navigating a submenu, and the remote itself can feel a little finicky. If you're the type who prefers a single massage button, you might find the learning curve a bit tedious. Plus, the remote doesn't have a battery indicator, so you'll occasionally discover it's dead in the middle of a session. One of the most talked about features is the hand reflexology function, which uses specific air cells on the armrests to stimulate pressure points on the wrists and palms. In a real-world scenario, this is a pleasant add-on for someone who spends a lot of time typing, as it gives a quick relief to cramped hands without having to get up. I saw a user on a forum mention that after a marathon of spreadsheet work, the reflexology mode helped loosen the grip tension enough to continue without a break. It's a clever little perk that you don't get with many competing chairs. Space-saving technology is another claim that deserves scrutiny. The Monarch LE can fold its footrests up and bring the seat forward to a more upright position, effectively turning into a recliner when not in use. For a family of 3 sharing a living room, that means the chair can sit against a wall without dominating the entire space. But the trade-off is a slightly narrower foot platform, which can feel cramped for taller users who like to extend their legs fully during a session. If you're 6 feet 2 inches or taller, you might find yourself adjusting the leg rest.